He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate, then took advantage of the ensuing disorder to gain greater power for himself. He invaded Bohemia with a massive army and began pillaging the territories of the king's allies. It is here that my story begins.
Well, well, Henry. You've got a look on your face like the cat that got the cream. I've only seen that look when... You wouldn't be cheating on me now, would you?
I'd never cheat on you. I was at the baths, but just to get cleaned up. My word of honor.
All right. But I'd rather you washed at the tub here, and not there with those... loose women.
Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
I'd love to.
Listen, Teresa. There's something I ought to tell you.
What is it? What's troubling you?
I'm not quite sure how to tell you, so I'll just spit it out. So Radzig Kobyla is... my father.
And King Wenceslas is my cousin. You really had me going.
No, I'm serious.
What? But, Henry, how on earth could...
I know. It was a shock for me, too. It turns out Sir Radzig and my mother had some... romance. Of course, he couldn't marry a commoner.
And your father? I mean the blacksmith. God, that sounds so odd. I mean Martin.
He knew Sir Radzig from way back. Martin Pa married her before I was born, to protect her reputation, and raise me as his own.
And Sir Radzig allowed it?
Sure. Actually, I get a feeling the whole thing was agreed between them. Sir Radzig was glad she wasn't left alone with a child.
My God, Henry, that's just... And what will that mean for you?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
Well, it all depends on Sir Radzig, doesn't it? As his illegitimate son, I don't have any rights as such. But it's not like I've suddenly become a noble like Capon. And even though Sir Radzig has publicly acknowledged me, well, sort of, it hasn't really changed anything.
And if Sir Radzig decided to make a real noble of you, would you want that?
Me become a noble? Fine clothes, hunting, drinking wine from a gold goblet, and stuffed pheasant for breakfast? Ha! Of course! Who wouldn't want it?
I think there's a little more to it than that, Henry. You'd have huge responsibilities.
True. But anyway, it's not important what I want. A bastard will always be a bastard.
I don't know. All sorts of things can change. Would you still care for me, a common millmaid, if you were a nobleman?
Of course. I'll always be fond of you. Nothing will change that.
I'll remember that. I hope you won't regret those words.
No fear of that.
The time passes so quickly with you, Henry. Come and see me again sometime. Have you come to rescue me, Sir Knight?
Wouldn't you like to take a...
What, now? I can't at the moment. And besides, we were... But stop by later, and we'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. What the hell was that? Yeah. Yeah.
Nicsak. Mi bújt itt elő?
Agányba! Yeah. Ow! Watch where you're going, you lout! You nearly killed me!
On account of the fighting at Calmsden.
There'll be no mercy for bandits.
I hope you're right.
I am. You'll see.
My humble greetings. How may I help you?
Can I sleep here?
Aye, there's room here. For how long?
Just the one night?
Sure, but groschen first. These are harsh.
Here you go.
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you. Take care.
Boo! God be with you.
The herbalist Kunhuta sent me. I'm here because of the ghost.
You don't look like you know a thing about ghosts. Why didn't she come herself? Why did she send someone so young instead? Do you know anything?
She was in too much pain to make the journey. But you can trust me. I know what I'm doing.
You'd better. Well, get to work then.
There's a few things I need to know first.
I'd rather you just got on with it. But I don't suppose I've got any choice.
What exactly has been going?
It happens at night. Every night now an apparition comes to me and I can't get a wink.
Whose ghost is it?
His name was Alois and he had a farm not far from Ledechko. A few years ago, his farmhouse burnt.
I've heard that people who die such horrible deaths seldom Why do you think he chose you of all people?
How am I supposed to know? Maybe because we're neighbours. We grew up together as children.
I suppose... Where is Alois buried? For the exorcism, I'll need flowers from his grave.
He's laid to rest in the Sasau cemetery by the wall. His grave is I've been there a few times for a visit. The first day he appeared, I prayed at his grave.
What exactly?
It happens at...
I know everything.
Then for God's sake, goodbye.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Yeah.
Mandrake roots taken straight from the gallows at midnight. How are you?
Will you teach me how to...
Certainly.
I'd like to hone...
All right.
Isn't that quite a...
Since it's you.
I'd almost shake up. Agreed. Good luck.
Would you teach me more about...
Certain.
I'd like to...
First you have to have...
Well,
Good luck then.
will you teach me how...
Certainly.
I want to...
You can't become a master overnight. You have to know almost everything.
Well,
God be with you.
God be with you.
Can I sleep?
For how long?
Just the one night.
No problem. But you pay in advance.